So this week we're going to be looking at making 2D shapes. So last week we just looked at the start, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's begin then. So we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to prepare it to make it a square. So look at how Alfred folds this piece of paper. Okay, so he's got this green piece of paper. Let's move the shot. He's got this green piece of paper and he's folding it in half. When he's folded this piece of paper in half, he has ended up with a rectangle. Okay, when he then folds this rectangle in half again, he ends up with a square. He's got a small square. So you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 small squares from this one piece of paper. Maggie folds this paper in a slightly different way. So she folds it into a triangle, and then she folds it into another triangle. So she's got now a small triangle, 4 smaller triangles. So we can see that we've got a comparison between Alfred and Maggie's shapes. They use what's the kind of paper? Is it the same or is it different? Well, it's the same piece of paper, even though we've made 2 different shapes. This comes from how we fold it. So they fold the paper into the different 2D shapes. They've used the same paper, but they're folding it in different shapes. The children unfold their piece of paper. Alfred's piece of paper is, like I said earlier, divided into 4 pieces. And Maggie's piece of paper is divided also into 4 pieces. But the difference being that Alfred's is 4 squares and Maggie's is 4 triangles. Okay, so look at this paper cutting. We're going to cut some pieces of square paper as shown below. The paper is cut into 1 triangle and 1 pentagon, because when we cut this 1 triangle off, we are left with 5 sides. Now, when we cut this triangle off, we have removed 2 sides, but have we changed the amount of sides here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have, so we know it's a quadrilateral. Remember, we can be lazy and just call it a quadrilateral because it's not asking us to specifically name what kind of 2D shape it is. So this piece of paper is cut into 2 quadrilaterals. How can we cut the piece of square paper once to make 2 triangles? So we can cut along the diagonals or cut along this dotted line. We call that a diagonal. So cut out. Okay, so let's look at this last piece then. So to cut a piece of square paper into 8 triangles of the same size, at least how many cuts are needed? So let's think about it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. But is there any faster way? Why is it 2? So think, if we fold this piece of paper in half and fold it again in half into our squares, so we can, let's draw a line on it and make it easier. So if we fold it in half there and fold it in half there, and then what we need to do is make 1 cut here and then 1 cut along our halfway. That way we would, when we unfold it, we would end up with all 4 of these places sliced. Okay, so this is it for the chapter. It's nice and easy. There'll be 3 worksheets and there'll be an online quiz as well.